and welcome. Today is day one of the R.I.P. Readathon. That is a readathon created by Paige over at Creating & Co. And it is also day one of the Magical Readathon Charms Extra Credit. So both go for the week of today's date, the 8th, October 8th through the 14th. So I started a book this morning, well, today, on audiobook. I got it through my library, but physical copy is right here. It's The Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. And I don't know how many hours I am into it. I think I'm close to, I don't remember. But I'm on page 116 of like 470 something, 420 something, 427. I'm really liking this so far. This is my first V.E. Schwab, wow, V.E. Schwab or Victoria Schwab book. So this is a young adult fantasy book. It's also got kind of dystopian vibes to it. Basically what you have is a capital city that that you can pay your way into to be safe from the monsters. So this book alternates between the perspectives of a human girl named Kate, and I don't really like her. I think we're not supposed to like her. I don't know how my feelings about her are going to change throughout this book and throughout the duology, but right now I really don't like her at all. I think she's a brat. But we get a human perspective, which is Kate's, and then we get a monster's perspective, which is Augustus. Not Augustus. Wow, it's August. And I really like him. So basically there's two sides to this war, I guess you could say, or this conflict that broke out. There is Kate and her father's side, and there's August and his father's side. So basically it was, how do we protect ourselves from the monsters? Do we fight against them, or do we have to have a lot of money to be protected from them? So we're kind of getting a little bit of that information. There's 3 types of monsters. I don't remember the names of all the monsters. Just because like listening and not seeing the words written out, I don't really like remember the terms as well. But there are monsters that feed off of people's blood. There are monsters that feed off of people's bones, and there are monsters that feed off of people's souls. And the ones that feed off the souls, or are good monsters, that's what August is, the type that he is, only feed off the souls of people who have sinned, or basically who have created a monster by killing another person. So that's how monsters are created, is out of violence and criminal acts. I think it's just killing people, not just like car theft or beating somebody up. I think the person has to die for the monster to be created. I'm not entirely sure. I would like a lot more information on that though. And then basically, like, I guess, how do you decide if a monster is like a teenager or an adult? Because I think August is 4 years old, like created as he was created as a monster 4 years ago. But he's 16 years old. So I don't know if he was a human beforehand, turned into a monster, or if, I don't know. So I'm waiting to find out all that information. It'll be interesting to see kind of what happens. Right now he's supposed to be kind of following Kate and gaining information for his father and the group that he leads. But I think they're going to turn into friends somehow. But yeah, so I am really enjoying it so far. It'll be interesting to see how August's character develops. We kind of got to see a little side of him when he was hungry, and how that really plays on him as a monster and how he has to really fight to control that. But he plays the violin, which I think is really cool, and he just saved an animal, so he's basically destined to be my BFF or something, or maybe just new like fictional crush. We'll see. So tonight I have to go to a performance workshop with my violin teacher and her other students. So I'll get a little bit more reading done as I drive to my friend's house because we're gonna carpool over there. But right now we're gonna watch some James Bond and eat some food. And I might start a physical book tonight when I get home and just read it in bed. I think I'm going to start Never to Return Again, which is by my friend Christine Makepeace. No, this is not sponsored in any way. She is self-published, but if you would like to read either of her books, I will leave a link down to the Amazon listing if they're both up for you to check out, but I'll just be talking about it again like I do with my books as I read. So that's my smallest physical book, so I kind of want to get that under my belt within the first day or two. That way I feel really good. Because otherwise, if I start with a long book and it takes me a couple days, then I kind of start to lose motivation. So that's my plans for right now, and I'll check in with you in a little bit probably. It is Readathon day 2, and I never did check back in last night. So I think where I left off, we were, Skylar and I were about to eat dinner and watch the rest of a James Bond movie, and then I had to leave to go meet my friend for, we carpooled together to our performance workshop. I did get to listen to a little bit more of the Savage song on the way to her house and then on the drive home, but she's only about like 12 minutes away, so I didn't get to listen to that much more. So today at work I listened to quite a bit more. I only have about an hour and a half left, and as I do a couple little chores around the house before I start studying, I'll probably get it finished. So I am really enjoying the story. I am at a point now where Kate is a little bit more bearable, but August is still definitely my favorite over her. I mean, between our two main characters, he's my favorite. So we've gotten a bit more background on the 3 different types of monsters there are and kind of how they're formed. So each are formed out of a different act of violence, I guess you could say. I've got notes on it. There's the Corsai, the Malkai, and the Sunni. I think that's what their name is. Yes, Sunai. I think that's closer to what it is. So there's kind of different numbers of each monster because of the acts that create them. So the Corsai are from nonviolent crimes. And I'm not entirely sure what constitutes a nonviolent crime. But in my mind, there would be the majority of Corsai monsters, just because, you know, like petty theft or something could be a crime, but I don't know if it's more like physical crimes or things like stealing or the like. I'm not entirely sure. So those are our shadow beasts, and they are the ones that drink or eat bone and flesh, I believe. And then there's the Malkai, which are Harker. He is the kind of president, I guess you could say, of the North Side. So he's Kate's dad. He has kind of made a pact with these types of monsters and uses them for his own bidding. They are created from death. So, basically just like a single death, though. And they're the ones that eat the blood or drink the blood. I guess you would drink it, not eat it. And those, there are quite a few of those as well. Just because it's a common crime, I guess. And then the last ones are the Sunai, which is what August is. And there are only 3 of those in existence. They are the hardest to create because they are created out of like mass massacres. So like if a bombing were to take out, you know, like a whole mall of people, or basically just multiple deaths have to happen to create them. And those are the ones that feed on souls. I think it's really interesting how V.E. Schwab is kind of intertwining, not kind of, she is intertwining music within this. On the cover of The Savage Song, there's a violin, which I think I told you yesterday, August plays. So the Sunai are the most human looking, and each of them has like an instrument more or less, which is how they get people's souls to like come out of their bodies so that they can eat them. And it's a song that's like very specific to them, and then like it's the one song. It's not like August could just go to town on his violin and start creating his own piece or play like Clair de Lune or whatever. So August's instrument is his violin. Ilsa, I think that's her name. His sister, her instrument is her voice. And Leo, which is his brother, he doesn't have a specific instrument. He can basically create his song with anything. So I think it's interesting how they can not only like get the souls with the music, but they can also stop the other monsters with the music. But I think, like I said yesterday, they can only get the souls of people who have sinned, which I don't exactly know how this book defines a sin, and I'm really confused by that, because in my mind, Kate has sinned multiple times. She's burnt down churches. She's hurt people intentionally. But for some reason, like, she's safe around August because she hasn't sinned. So I think this book terms a sin as in you actually committing an act that kills a person. I don't know, which is a little odd to me. Yeah, so I am enjoying it so far, though. I did have one issue, though, while I was listening to it. There's a point when August is playing his violin for a long time because they're trying to escape from some monsters, and I think 3 of the 4 strings break. And I've been playing the violin now for 5 years, and I've never broken a string from playing. I've only ever broken a string from trying to tune the string and over tightening it, and it snaps. So that just really didn't sit well with me, because I know this is a violin that it's not like when he was created with a violin. It's literally a violin you could go and buy at a shop. So there's nothing special or magical about it, and why 3 of the strings broke while he was playing just because he was playing too long is just, I know it's fantasy, but no, just no. So I am going to finish listening to this book and I will check in with it when I'm done. Actually, right now I am going to show you a couple items that I got from Amazon because I did pre-order a book that showed up today. And we're getting a puppy. We were supposed to get her on the 6th, but she has kennel cough and she wasn't able to get spayed in time to make it up on the transport. So we were supposed to get her the 20th, but I think now it's sounding like we're getting her the 27th. So I'm going to show you just some little blankies and things that we got her. And then I'll do chores. I mean, I got to do the fun stuff first. And then when I finish the book, I will check in with you and kind of let you know my overall feelings and ratings. And I think that the next book I'm gonna pick up is going to be Our Dark Duet, because I do really want to see how this all wraps up. I don't have another audiobook to listen to for my books that are picked out, but I do have Cider House Rules, or the Cider House Rules, on loan right now from my library. So I think just as a bonus for my monthly count, I'm gonna listen to that. Or I might see of any of my other books if I can get them on audiobook quickly. So that's it for right now, and let's go look at what I spent money on that I didn't need to spend money on. Alright, so the book that I got in the mail today was Blanca and Roja, which is Anna Marie McLemore's newest book. This book came out today, which is October 9th, and now I own every single one of her books, and I've read all of them except for this one. It's basically, the gist of what I can get out of it is that it is a Swan Lake retelling. Or it's loosely based off of Swan Lake. So I believe there's two girls. I'll just read the synopsis on the cover here. The Del Cisne girls have never just been sisters. They're also rivals and opposites. Blanca as obedient and graceful as Roja is vicious and manipulative. They know that because of a generations-old spell, their family is bound to a bevy of swans deep in the woods. They know that one day the swans will pull them into a dangerous game that will leave one of them a girl and trap the other in the body of a swan. But when two local boys become drawn into the game, the swan spell intertwines with the strange and unpredictable magic lacing the woods, and all four of their fates depend on facing truths that could either save or destroy them. Blanca and Roja is the captivating story of sisters, friendship, love, hatred, and the price we pay to protect our hearts. I am looking forward to this so much. I hope that I'll be able to get to it really soon, but if not, this will probably be like a perfect springtime read. And it just sounds so good. Swan Lake is one of my favorite ballets that the Pacific Northwest Ballet puts on. And I also I think swans are so graceful. My Patronus is a black swan. And I just love the magical realism and the storytelling that Anna Marie McLemore does with the stories she writes. So I am really excited to get into this. And this cover is just beautiful. I'm so happy to have this on my shelf. So that's the first thing I got today. And then non-book related, but puppy related. And if you like puppies, you should stick around because I like puppies too. I got non-puppy related. These are just sheet protectors. They're like coupon size sheet protectors so that I can organize my stickers. They're not fun unless you actually like sticker organization, which you might if you're on my channel, but we don't need to go through them because they're clear plastic stuff. So a couple things we've picked up for our new puppy so far. I haven't talked about her yet, I don't think. I will do an adoption video on her like I did with Ronan, but I finally convinced Skylar that Ronan needed a sister and I needed a girl in the house because we've got Skylar who's a boy, Maddie who's a boy, and Ronan who's a boy, and I am just getting pushed out of the house by testosterone, so I needed a girl to take my side once in a while and to do girl things with, and you know, whatever. So I started looking kind of on Instagram. I've been following the rescue we got Ronan from for quite some time now. And every once in a while I'll see a really cute puppy on there and I'm like, we should open up our heart and our home to this dog. And Skylar's been like, nah, we're not ready yet. We don't need another dog, blah, blah, blah. And then I found she was a pit bull mix. Her name was Autumn. And I emailed about her, and as soon as, I emailed about her pretty much the moment I saw the post. And when I got an email back, I was notified that she has already found a home, which is really great. Then there was another dog that was kind of an Aussie mix. She had really interesting markings on her. So I emailed about her again and put in an application, and she was adopted as well, or she had an application in from a family in another state. And it's first come, first serve on adoptions or applications as long as you pass like your references and what they're looking for in adopters. So the founder of the rescue, she sent me a couple pictures of some puppies that they had, and I will insert one here of the girl that we adopted. Her name right now, she's had 2 names in her from her foster mom. So she was originally named Irana, and right now they're calling her Sweet Pea, but we are going to call her Aoife. And which, to tie this back to books, Aoife was actually the name of a stepmother in a Celtic fairy tale who turned her stepchildren into geese. So we're on a theme with birds. But anyway, back to the dog. So I hemmed and hawed about her a little bit because in my mind I had a very specific idea of what kind of dog I wanted. And then I let Skylar in on the decision making, and he was like, I really like this girl. So I asked about her, got in an application, and was basically instantly approved. And we are going to welcome our home to her. They think she is a Dutch Shepherd mix. And she's just a sweetheart. I've gotten many pictures of her and videos, and she just like melts into your body and gives you kisses, and we're so excited to bring her home and welcome her into our hearts and just our home and give her a loving forever home. So I've been kind of nesting, I guess. I've just been getting stuff ready for her. So we let Maddie pick out a little toy from her. We just got this at the grocery store. Something for little trompers to chew on. And I got her a collar that's just this purple collar. And I got her name engraved on her name tag here. It's kind of half focusing. So it's just got Aoife written, and then the pronunciation of it, because it's spelled A-O-I-F-E, and if you're not Irish or not familiar with Irish names, you're probably not going to know how to pronounce it. So then I don't have a dog bed for her just yet because we are going to crate train her and probably keep her in the kennel at night until we can make sure she isn't going to chew anything up. She'll be okay sleeping. She isn't going to have any accidents or anything. So I did decide that she needs her own blankets that are going to smell like her, because we have a bunch of dog blankets, but they all smell like Ronan. And I think it would make her feel a little better if she came into our house and had something that's hers. So I got this 3-pack of blankets. It's a large size, but they all have just adorable little paws and bones prints on them. And they're a decent size. They're not super, super thick, but it'll be nice to lay in the bottom of her kennel so she has stuff to snuggle with. So there's a kind of a tan one, a pink one, and a purple one. So that's what we've got right now. And now I'm gonna be a good adult and go do chores and listen to my book and stuff. So I'll check in with you in a little bit. Great, so it is day 3 of the readathon, and I am probably almost halfway through my second book now. I don't have a marker or an hour count on my book just because I don't have my Audible app open. And I haven't taken the time to mark it in the physical format. But I did end up getting our Dark Duet, which is the second book in the Savage Song duology, from Audible because my library only had the ebook of it. And I didn't think I would be able to finish the book and read 2 other books if I didn't get another audiobook. So, and I did really like the narrator for the books. Where did I put it? I think on the couch. So that's the plan right now, is to finish this probably tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I already have a bookmark in it. Finish tomorrow our Dark Duet while I'm at work. I'm sorry, I'm walking around a lot. I'm gonna go sit down right now. So I'm liking it so far. Definitely not as much as the Savage Song. And I'm having a couple issues. Not with the story so much, but with the whole violin thing. And I don't know why, but it's really bothering me. So in this one, I'm sorry that this is going to be spoilery, but I don't really know how to chat about it and my feelings on it unless I give spoilers. But his original violin gets broken at the end of the first book. And he is gifted I think it's completely metal or like a steel violin. I know his bow is steel. And I thought that all monsters were affected by metal. And so why he can play a steel violin and not be impacted by it makes no sense. Also, what is a metal violin? Because, like, there's specific woods you have to use. There's specific aging processes with the woods. I know you have to soak the wood, and I just, like, it's not even gonna sound like a violin if it's made out of complete metal. And I just don't get it. Also, he uses his bow as a weapon. And like, if you get blood and gore and guts on the bow hair, it's not gonna work. Like, you have rosin for a reason. You don't just get to use like oils from your hands or like hair gel or something to rosin your bow. Like, you have to have a specific thing to make the friction to make it work. And I'm just struggling with this so hard. I understand this is like a fantasy slash dystopian type of novel, but when you take a real life thing and like try to make it a weapon, and like, no. I mean, maybe just make up your own kind of instrument that's just not indestructible. I don't know. So I'm really struggling with that. As you can tell, I just vented for like 4 minutes about it. But it's interesting. We're seeing more character development from August after the ending and something that happened in the Savage Song. And Kate's kind of going through some things as well. We found out there's different types of monsters in each of the cities. And there's a new type that does some pretty interesting things. So I'm intrigued and ready to find out about more of this and how metal violin and metal bow work. We'll see. So I might check in. Actually, I probably won't check in anymore tonight because we're watching The Shape of Water. So I'll check in with you tomorrow. It is day 4 of the R.I.P. Readathon and Charms Extra Credit. And unfortunately, I have to start this segment, whatever this is, by saying that apparently I'm wrong. There is such thing as a steel, or at the very least, an aluminum violin. I looked it up on the YouTube today, and it doesn't sound that different. But whatever. I still don't understand how August can use his bow as a weapon. I'll stand by that at least. So I have about 3 hours left of our Dark Duet, which will be my second book finished for the R.I.P. Readathon. Also my second attempt for an extra credit point for the Magical Readathon. I also started Murder on the Orient Express last night, but I only got like 26 pages in before I decided to go to sleep. So that's my progress for right now. I feel pretty confident that I'll be able to get at least 3 books completed this week. I'll definitely have the Savage Song done tomorrow. And then hopefully by the end of the week, I'll be able to finish Murder on the Orient Express. I don't have another audiobook, so unless I get that Agatha Christie book on loan from my library right now, I have it on hold. I won't have another audiobook, so it'll just be physical books. But overall, I feel really good about this readathon, especially because I'm finishing up my 2 biggest books pretty early on. Even if they were in audio format, it still counts. So that's about it for right now. I really don't have much of an update other than that it's almost 7 o'clock, which means it's time to get ready for bed for us since we wake up early. So I'll have a check-in for you tomorrow after I finish our Dark Duet, and then maybe more of an update once more things have happened in Murder on the Orient Express. I will say that I'm just missing some of what I feel like our Dark Duet is missing. A lot of the elements that the Savage Song had. I don't really like the development that August's character has taken, though I do understand it slightly. And then Kate is just going back to not really liking her so much anymore. I don't like the romance. It was a slow burn romance, but I feel like you make it through one book and then over halfway through another book before you try to have a romance with your characters, and then at that point it's kind of like, that train already passed. But I don't know, some people like that, I'm sure. I just don't like it, but maybe because I don't like her for him, which is probably the majority of what it is. So that's going to be it for tonight. I'm going to go get ready for bed and read a little bit. Hopefully get at least another 30 pages read. Yeah, I don't remember how many pages that book is, but it should go pretty quickly. So I will have an update for you tomorrow.
I have a feeling that pig is gonna win.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, look at him chunking his. Food, I see food. Oh my gosh. That is a
Oh, that's a mama.
Oh yeah.
Why is that boat going? Can we go past that gate? Oh yeah.
Are those water pumps?
Those are trebuchets, pumpkin launchers.
Oh, okay.
Is that someone's car?
Oh, is this somebody's car? Maybe.
Or do you think they just put
Right, so today is the last day of both the R.I.P. Readathon and the Charms extra credit for the magical readathon. Right now I'm at 2 books finished for both of them, and I'm working through my last book that I'll be able to get to for this week. So I listened to This Savage Song and Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. And right now I am still working through Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. I read about 100 pages of it over the past couple of days. And I actually just got the hold, or the loan, for my library copy hold for the audiobook yesterday. So I've been listening to it throughout the day. The kiddo and I carved pumpkins this morning, and I'm baking pumpkin seeds right now. Well, I mean, obviously right now I'm putting on my makeup, but one of the kind of extra credit things that you could do for the Creating & Co., the R.I.P. Readathon, was a costume contest sort of thing. So kind of put on a costume of like a character or something in a favorite book, and like bonus points if, I don't know if there's actually points or anything, but if you pose or take a picture with the book that your costume is from. So last year I was Red Riding Hood for Halloween, and I have the Red Riding Hood book. I also have the Grimm's Fairy Tales collection that has the original Red Riding Hood in it, so I might try to incorporate both of those. But I'm basically only putting makeup on today just to take one quick picture, which is a bit silly, but it's kind of fun anyway. So that's what I'm doing, just making a nice face right now. I am going to draw like claw marks on my face and take my picture. So that's where I'm at right now. I am really liking Murder on the Orient Express. It's been a good read, a pretty easy, like cozy mystery, murder mystery read. So I think it works really well for the prompt of a cozy read. It's an interesting story. I'm not very good with mysteries and figuring out like who did it. So I'm still kind of trying to decide for myself who I think is the guilty person on the train. So that's what I've been listening to. It's been a nice lazy morning, and I'm not complaining about that at all. As you saw in the clips from yesterday, we went to the pumpkin patch. And it was a lot of fun. They had a couple new animals this year that they haven't had the past years. There were little micro pigs, some mamas and babies, and 2 miniature donkeys. And I'm working on convincing Skylar that we should get miniature donkeys. I mean, we would need to move first and buy a house with property, but I told him we should get miniature donkeys whenever we do that. He's not buying it. So that was a lot of fun. I actually carried my own pumpkin this year, so everyone should be really proud of me for doing that. Because usually I make Skylar carry mine, and he has to carry Maddie's. But I want him to keep going to the pumpkin patch with us, so I figured this year I should probably carry my own pumpkin, otherwise next year he probably won't go. I think he would go anyway. But yeah, so that was basically our whole day yesterday. Except I did have to run to my brother's house and kind of, well, took him like soup and stuff. Got him some juice because I think he's got the flu. And he was not doing well at all yesterday. He was supposed to go to the pumpkin patch with us, but called me in the morning, yesterday morning, saying that he wasn't going to come along. So my dad actually went, which he doesn't usually go to things like that with us. It's been a while since he has, at least. But he went with, and he picked out a pumpkin just for my brother, so that way he could have a pumpkin on his porch this year. So, yeah, that's about all we did. I don't have a big, obviously, reading update because I haven't been reading a whole bunch. But Maddie asked me if I would go with them on the ride to drop him off at his mom's. So I am going to go with. And I know on the way back we'll end up listening to Harry Potter because that's what Skylar's listening to right now. He's on Order of the Phoenix right now. I think he's still at the beginning. I at least know he went through the whole, that's the pumpkin, so I'll be right back. So anyway, as I was saying, they went through Harry's hearing at the ministry. So he's met Umbridge, but he doesn't really recognize her. We think that he stopped reading the books halfway through book 5. He can't remember if he ever finished them. Or at least that one, he knows he didn't finish them. So I'm excited for him to find out about everything that goes on this book and get into the 6th book, because the 6th book is really good. I think he's really going to enjoy learning more about Voldemort when he was younger, and more about like Tom Riddle and just the things. So I'm really excited to have discussions with him once he gets to that book. Half-Blood Prince is my second favorite book. So yeah. That's about all I've got right now. I might turn the camera back on when I do my scratches, just so you can see how that works, but I'm gonna finish up my eyes and other things, so I'll check in with you in a little bit. Alright, so I've got my makeup done now. Usually I can do things better on the right side of my face, but today we're gonna try the left side. I'm basically just using this Essence lip liner in Satin Mauve because it's a little darker than like my skin, so it's kind of gonna look like a old scar when I put the rigid collodion on top. So basically I'm just gonna draw some rough claw marks. I'm scared to mess up, even though I've done this before. Okay, so now it's time for the rigid collodion. And this is just a scarring liquid, so what it does is it kind of like puckers, cinches down the area that you put on it. So you basically just brush it on, let it dry, brush it on, let it dry, brush it on, let it dry. And the more layers you have on it, the more it's kind of gonna make it look more puckered. So this stuff is really great for Halloween if like you don't have enough time to do the whole special effects stuff, but you still want to look a little like gory. I think I'm gonna move you guys over just a little bit so that you can see as it's shrinking down, but it does tighten up. So I put this one really close to my lip and now it's gonna be hard to talk. So if you can see, that's just one layer and it's already started cinching down. And as it like dries, it's gonna make an indent more. So I'll show you as I put more on. So that's what it looks like. I think last year I had it up quite a bit higher and definitely further from my mouth. But it's really fun to use. It's not so fun once it starts peeling, because obviously like then you can see it. And if it starts to flake, I don't know if you're the kind of people who also pick at things that start to flake, but I totally do. And because I've got peach fuzz all over my face, it really hurts when it gets snagged on your hair. But there's this stuff, which I think a lot of mine leaked out because I've only had this for a year and I know I didn't use all that. But it's spirit gum remover, so it's just a liquid adhesive remover. So save your skin, use this if you're gonna use it. Yeah, and I think that's about it for my vlog right now. I am gonna go take that picture really quickly so I can edit it and upload it to Instagram, and then I've only got an hour left in Murder on the Orient Express. So I'm gonna finish that, or at least get a bit more read. I think I want to finish it as a physical book, but with only an hour I'll probably finish it on the audiobook. I don't know. I'll keep you posted. So I'll check in with you here in a little bit when I'm not scarred up anymore. Alright, so I just wanted to give a quick recap of how my readathons went because I didn't pick the camera back up yesterday after I finished my book. So I read a total of 3 books during the week. I finished This Savage Song on audiobook, Our Dark Duet on audiobook, and then I mixed an audiobook and physical book for Murder on the Orient Express. So I finished technically 4 out of the 5 challenges for the R.I.P. Readathon, because I was planning to read Never to Return Again as my book with black on the cover, but really any of my books can work for that prompt. And then I just didn't read the group book. So I feel really good about that. And then I finished 3 books for the Charms Extra Credit, which means I get to tack on 3 days to my Charms Readathon next year. It'll probably be next April, I think. So overall, I'd say my reading week was really successful. I got 3 books done, so that's 3 more that I get to tally up for the month, which is great. 3 more books. Actually, all of these books were on my shelf previously, so 3 more books that were on my TBR side of the shelf that I can now mark as read. So I'm really excited for that. I had a lot of fun with the photo challenges for both the Read in Peace Readathon and the Charms Extra Credit Readathon. I do have a link to my Instagram handle down below in the description, so if you want to head over and check out those pictures, you can go look me up there. And I think that's about it for this. I would really love to know if you participated in either the Magical Readathon, Charms Extra Credit, or the Read in Peace Readathon. So please let me wow. It's a Monday after weekend. I'm tired. I got some filming to do. But anyway, I would love to know if you participated in either, and please do let me know down in the comments below, and I will chat with you there until my next video. Bye!